Hello there. Let me introduce myself. My name is Mike Clifton. I write under the pen name Michael Scott Clifton. My website is www.michaelscottclifton.com. I also can be Googled at author MS Clifton, and that'll take you to all of my social media sites as well. Well, behind me you can see 4 of the 5 books that I've written. The 5th book will be coming out in a couple of weeks. I'll go over them briefly in just a few minutes. But right now I'd like to tell you just a little bit about myself. Again, I write under the pen name Michael Scott Clifton. I live in Mount Pleasant, which is in East Texas. And I've been writing for over 12 years, almost 15 now, but I've seriously been writing over the last 3 or 4 years. I was a public educator for many, many years. I was a teacher, I was a coach, and I was a assistant principal and a principal, and enjoyed every second of it. Was glad of every minute I was a public educator, enjoyed the parents, enjoyed the kids. A couple of questions I get asked at a lot of the book events I go to, and I get asked a lot, but the two that seem to come up, pop up all the time are A, where do you get your inspiration for stories? And B, where do you get your inspiration for characters? The stories part is easy. I have a very active imagination, sometimes maybe too much so, at least so my wife tells me. And I can sometimes be daydreaming and when I'm really thinking about a story or something like that. But I've never had trouble coming up with a storyline or a germ for a good story, the germ of a good story. So that's never been a problem for me. I'm an avid moviegoer. I love books. I love writing. So again, imagination, where stories come from, has never been an issue with me. As far as characters go, I see characters every day, and so do you. You see them in the mall, you see them at the store, you see them in the drive-through line at McDonald's. As a public educator, I really was in a target-rich environment. I got to see thousands of students and parents and teachers and other public educators. A very target-rich environment, as I said, which sometimes I draw upon when I'm trying to think of a particular character. So again, that's never been an issue with me. Now, as I said, I've written 4 books, the 5th coming out in a couple of weeks, and I'd like to go over them just real briefly with you. This is the first book that I read, The Treasure Hunt Club. Imagine if you ever found a book, a mystical, magical book that could locate anything down through history which has ever been lost. It can find anything that has ever been lost. What would you do? What would the character do? Read the book and you'll find out. The Janus Witch, believe it or not, is about a witch, a murderous witch who is a beautiful witch who is also part of a very violent and murderous coven. But she suffers an accident one day which costs her all memory of her previous life. And when she recovers, she falls in love with a kind and compassionate young man, the complete opposite of the way she used to be. So what will happen? Will her old nature come forth, or will they live happily ever after? You have to read The Janus Witch to find out. The Open Portal is the first book in a fantasy series called The Conquest of the Veil. It's about a teenage girl who is bullied to the point where she decides she's going to commit suicide. But before she can commit the act, her guardian angel appears to her and offers her a chance to swap her life with another. She takes him up on the offer and ends up on an alternate world, a parallel world of Earth where magic has replaced technology, and she discovers also that she's beautiful and wealthy beyond her wildest dreams. And then she discovers the awful price she has to pay for making such a choice. What happens? You have to read The Open Portal to find out. By the way, book 2 is the one coming out in 2 weeks called Escape from Wheel. And the most recent book that I've had published is Edison Jones and the Anti-Grav Elevator, which is my attempt at science and adventure book for kids from junior high through high school. I taught science for 21 years. And the book is sprinkled with science facts, even though it is a work of fiction and it's fast moving and I think very interesting. Students, parents, even kids, junior high through high school, will pick up on some science facts that are actually true and real and learn about them in the course of reading the book. Edison Jones himself is a genius inventor who suffered an accident at age 5 which left him paralyzed, but it has not slowed him down. However, when his grandfather enrolls him in a public school at age 12 into 7th grade, having never been in a public school around kids his age before, he has a daunting challenge ahead: how to fit in with kids his own age. No invention, no algorithm, no digital headache has ever challenged him like simply fitting in with kids his own age. What happens? You'll have to read Edison Jones and the Anti-Grav Elevator. Listen, it's been nice visiting with y'all. Again, if you'd like to visit my website, www.michaelscottclifton.com, or Google me at author MS Clifton, you'll find a lot more about me. Books are all listed on Amazon, as well as some other digital and paperback book links. And if you have any questions, go to my website. You can email me from there. It's been real. It's been fun. Thank you. Bye-bye.